Hello and welcome to yet another one of these videos. And today, we're going to talk about The Spectacular Spooderman by Greg Wiseman. Now, if you don't know who that is, Greg Wiseman probably made your childhood shows like Gargoyles, Young Justice, and a little show called Spectacular Spider-Man. You probably heard that. But he's back. And he's writing another Spider-Man story, only this time with Peter and Miles. So, yeah, we got the two Spider-Mans here in one story. And it's a completely different universe than the 616, so it's its own thing. And people are calling this the successor to Spectacular when it was announced. And we'll just have to see if it is. And look at the art. I mean, the art is drawn by Humberto Ramos. He basically drew the Dan Slott Amazing Spider-Man run. And I'll be honest, that his art style I don't like at all. It just never appealed to me. Some people like it. I was never one of those. But, yeah, it just not my style, I guess. But anyway, without further ado, let's just get into this. Does Greg Wiseman still got it with Spider-Man? So here we have the first page, and it shows Peter and Miles out on patrol fighting the Jackal, who is like this hulking monster. And of course, we have the banter between the two. You have them mention a word called arachnobatic, which I guess means like Spider-Man stuff or spider stuff, because they're both Spider-Man, which, like I've mentioned it before in my problem with Miles Morales video, that I don't like when both of them are called Spider-Man when they're in the same universe. I've hated that in the 616. I hate it in the Insomniac universe, and I hate it in this. And of course, they do mention like, oh, we gotta find a way to separate each other. We can't be called Spider-Man. It's a whole thing in the book. But here we got the credits and all. You got Greg Wiseman, you got Humberto Ramos, and you've got to be fucking kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Are you serious? Are you serious? Let me see. A little bit more focus here. That's not a good sign. But anyway, so we have them. And this is like before the whole fight with Jackal. And I've been talking about being just regular people hanging out with as Peter and Miles, and not Spider-Men. And what the fuck? What is this dialogue? Problematic. He. Stop giggling, you child. Why the fuck is Miles calling him a child? It's like, dude, he's older than you motherfucker. Yeah. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's Greg Wiseman. I mean, he writes really good stuff with Spectacular. So, anyway, they're still talking about just hanging out on a Wednesday at 4 p.m. And then we go back. It goes back and forth with them talking and then going and fighting the Jackal. It's those types of stories. But anyway, we got, of course, them fighting the Jackal, and they're, of course, Peter gives him a recap on who the Jackal is and all that stuff. And yeah, and then we cut to a court scene, which I have no idea who the hell this is. I'm assuming it's Aaron Davis, since, you know, Miles is around. So I'm assuming it's Aaron Davis, the Prowler. Or it could be somebody else. Could be Hobie Brown. Who the fuck knows? But anyway, he's in court for something. We don't even know who this is. It doesn't even fucking explain. But anyway, yeah, it's just a random panel. And we're back to Peter and the Jackal fighting, and yeah, it's more quipping and stuff, which is, I mean, that's Spider-Man, so that's nothing. That's nothing new. So then we cut back to Peter and Miles hanging out. Oh my God. What the hell is this? What the fuck is this art? Let me... What? What the fuck's going on? What's wrong with his face, man? What's wrong with Miles? What the hell? Anyway, so they're here. They're at a coffee shop. And Miles is like, come on, let's go hang out. And let's talk to some grad students. And all. Let's go flirt with girls. Oh, my God. And it's like... maybe meet some cute college girls. Like, what? You're not first. And then Peter mentions like, oh yeah, you're too young and I'm too old. And it's like, come on, you could at least meet a cute grad student. Okay, Miles. When the fuck has Miles been an expert on girls? Like, and also lecturing Peter about that? It's like, what? But anyway, yeah, let's just keep going. And then, oh, look, we got King Kong, you know, from the Ultimate Spider-Man series. I think he originated from, but you can correct me on that. But yeah, he appears in it, and he's the barista. Peter gets an order from him, yada, yada, yada. And this is where basically all the Cheers references, I guess, inspiration comes from. Just them chilling at a coffee shop. And so yeah, we got Miles here, Peter being an old geezer, loser, whatever, and then they treat Miles like he's better than him and everything. So whatever. Then we cut to here, and it's Shashan. Shashan, and Greg is basically using characters that he used in the show, so that's basically what he's doing here, and that's fine. And these are characters that have existed in the comics before, and Shashan is like Flash Thompson's wife in the comics. So yeah, and of course Peter mentions that Flash, that's Flash's ex and all that. But yeah. So anyway, oh my God. What the hell is this? What the fuck's going on with his face? Look at it. Look at that. The hell? Oh my God. He looks like freaking O.J. Simpson, man. Okay, anyway, bad art aside, maybe. Okay, this is now not starting out well. Dialogue-wise, everything. It's like Greg Weisman is basically drawing what he thinks Gen Zs talk, how Gen Zs talk. That's yeah, that's what it feels like, and it's just like, this is not at all how they talk and shit. But yeah. Anyway, man, so far this book is just not interesting. It's kind of cringy at times. The art is really bad. Yeah, just random people talking, and there's this guy named Cedric. I don't know much about him. I don't know if he's in the comics or anything, but yeah. Yeah. This Cedric guy is basically trying to hit on Kenny's girl and yada yada yada. And now we get back to Jackal and the Spider-Man fighting. And why? So, okay, the context here is that Miles thinks that Peter was giving his identity away. And so he freaking web shoots his mouth and basically, like, why? Why? It's like, dude, don't use my real name in public. Dude, I didn't. I was talking about the Jackal. His real name is Professor Miles Warren. Wait, your high school science teacher is the Jackal? It's like, I get that they're trying to do like this brother dynamic thing between the two, but it's just, yeah, well, anyway. So we get introduced to Miles Warren. Of course, he's the Jackal, for those that don't know. And yeah, they're getting coffee and shit. Talks to Miles, talks to Peter, talks to him, and yada yada. And then we get Seymour Krebs, which I believe was in Dan Slott's run, if I remember. Yeah, so he's in this. And oh my god. My god, look at that fucking art. Look at Miles. It's mostly just Miles that looks weird as fuck. And then, of course, we got this shitty joke like, me, I never want to see more Krebs. You're such a child. What the fuck? So, Greg is essentially like making Miles more mature. He's more mature than Peter. Like, what? Are you serious? Like, this is the type of shit that's going on. It's like they really want to shit on Peter to make Miles better. That's the type of things we're getting nowadays. We got that in Insomniacs, Spider-Man. We got that in here. And of course the 616 with Zeb Wells and shit. It's like they're trying to make Miles better, trying to be a better person than Peter. It's like, no, it should be the opposite. Peter should be the mentor. Instead, he's acting like a fucking child. Like Miles is treating him like shit in ways. But yeah, we get more fighting, yada yada yada, and then I mean, it's Greg Weisman, so of course he has to add like Shakespeare into this. So we got a Shakespeare play. I don't remember which one this is. But yeah, we got the Shakespeare stuff from Greg, and then we got cut back to freaking Miles and Peter fighting fighting the Jackal again. Yeah. And by the way, why the fuck? Like, I know, like I said, Greg loves Shakespeare and all, but this scene has no freaking relevance. It's like these panels. Some of these panels, and we're gonna get to another one, like this one, for example. This, of course, we gotta have a lesbian kiss somewhere here, and it has no impact in the fucking story. Maybe in later issues, but right now, this, what's the point of this? What is the point of this panel right here? It's just two girls kissing and shit, and that's it. There's no fucking importance to the story. It's like, that's the type of shit we're getting in comics now. So, anyway, the scene is not, this panel is not important at all to the story as of now. So we get to, of course, Peter and Miles fighting the Jackal again. Cuts to that. And we cut to scene with Peter and Kenny, and he's ordering coffee, and every time Kenny keeps on asking him what type of coffee he wants, because, you know, he keeps asking for the usual one. Kenny keeps forgetting, and then of course he keeps forgetting Peter's name and all that. So basically he wants to be a regular customer. That's what he's trying to do. And of course he finally does, and he shouts it out and shit. And then we cut back to Miles and Peter fighting. He's like, oh, my coffee. I want my latte. I want to drink my latte, but I got to fight the Jackal. And, you know, they keep fighting, and they keep fighting, and then they win. Yay. Anyway, So yeah, they just start doing this whole like, oh, we're talking the same way. Jinx, oh, you owe me a medium iced half and half latte with a shot of espresso and a dash of cinnamon. You're such a child. It's like, mother, shut the fuck up, Miles. Anyway, we didn't cut to the aftermath. You got Miles' lab, and well, I guess Miles Warren is not. Or maybe it could be his brother. I don't know. But it looks like it's Miles. But yeah. Freaking experiment went wrong and shit. Yada, yada, yada. And then we see a dead corpse right there. And yeah. And then we get to them talking about how Arachnobatic, oh my god, it's so amazing. It's so great. Totally, it's spiderific. You did not just say that. I know. I regretted it instantly. And then we cut to Cedric, which is Miles' pal. And he's calling somebody, saying that he will love to get paid, to have fun. Wow. Okay, and that's it. That's it. So... yeah, this book, I definitely will not call this a successor to Spectacular. It's not good. Greg has fallen off, that's for sure. Just like everybody else who has worked on probably your favorite entertainment. Greg is just another one of those people. Sorry, my phone died. Oof, that was embarrassing. But where was I? Greg has fallen off. He's been acting like an asshole lately on Twitter, or X, whatever it's called. And he's basically, like, shitting on fans, like, passionate fans even. Like, not just the trolls, but everybody. Like, one time, like, somebody asked him about Young Justice, like, oh, like he's a fan of the show, and he would love to see so-and-so in the show in future seasons. And then Greg Weisman will be like, oh, why do you keep asking me about characters? Like, come on, man. The show's already written. Can you just stop for once? Like, leave me alone. I want to go cry to my mommy. And it's like, dude, he just asked. He just was passionate about your stuff, man. Why do you got to be a dick about it? And to his credit, he did apologize. So at least he did that. Most people would not do that nowadays. But yeah, like, dude, like, chill. If he's on Twitter a lot, so he's he's one of those people that are like hate Twitter, but they still use it. So it's unfortunate. Greg Weisman used to be one, like, at this point, I don't want Spectacular Spider-Man Season 3 anymore. I just don't. If in this manner, I don't want it. Because with shows coming back, like iconic shows coming back with new seasons, and then they turn out to be shit. It's just, I just, no, I can't take it anymore. I don't want that to happen to Spectacular Spider-Man. You know, I was one of those people that would like fight for like getting fighting back to get like a new season and all that. But now I'm like, no, I'm done with that shit. I don't want this to come back. I don't want it to be shit on. And so it's unfortunate, but yeah, I think it's for the better. Yeah. So anyway, I don't recommend this book. It's not a success to Spectacular. Greg Weisman has fallen down from his glory. And yeah. But there is one book I recommend, and that is, of course, Ultimate Spider-Man. I highly recommend Ultimate Spider-Man, and I don't recommend this. So, yeah, check out Ultimate Spider-Man. You know, it's great. It's everything you ever wanted in Spider-Man. Bringing back the glory days of great Spider-Man stories. So, yeah, check this out. And And that is all for today. And, you know, I don't have the energy to tear this apart or burn it. So I guess I'll just throw it in the trash. Yeah, I don't have a bag for it yet, but yeah. It's where it belongs. Like and subscribe.